Hey everyone, Alpha Eagle here again. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well, and may God bless you all. The Fandom Initiative just can't seem to hide their blatant racism. The Fandom Initiative is a far-left activist group disguised as a fan group. They claim to be a group who talk about pulp culture, but I rarely hear them talk about pulp culture. Instead, all they do is attack fellow YouTubers simply for having different opinions on media, and they push their political agenda. Anyway, we're going to talk about one of their members who calls his channel WILIscredia. He also calls himself CP, and that's an unfortunate moniker. He also calls himself Charles. Anyway, he called Eric July a racial slur. As always, I'd like to say I have nothing against Charles, so let's get into the video.
Yeah, Uncle Tom.
For real.
Ooh. Oof. Ooh.
Yeah, I said it.
Wow, even the other members seem a bit shocked.
Yeah.
Remember, it was me that said Uncle Tom. Nobody else had anything to do with it. So when you go
I'm just so
labeling anybody else.
I give him credit for taking full blame for what he said, but notice that the rest of them agree with him.
Well, I mean, I know. Look, Reggie said it about Eric July before, so I mean, I wouldn't necessarily repeat it, but I don't think that it's necessarily going to get canceled.
Yeah, I don't think it's inaccurate. I don't think.
I just want to make it clear that nobody here influenced me, or if you guys don't endorse it, I understand. I said it. Go ahead and.
Actual Fandom has said that their friend Reggie has called Eric a UT before. And their friend Reggie has also called Eric other slurs.
I call Eric July a coon. I call him ashy and musty.
No, I mean, but to be fair, like, you call him what you want.
And you can see actual Fandom endorsed this slur that Reggie said. And the Fandom Initiative member Pop Counter Culture, otherwise known as Milkshake Brain, that's what he likes to be called, has also called Eric a UT.
Dude, Eric July's whole argument and why I think it's okay to call him an Uncle Tom.
So as you can see, the Fandom Initiative have a pattern of behavior of calling black people racial slurs. Let's continue with the video.
And say whatever the fuck you want, but he fits the stereotype.
He said that Eric July fits the stereotype of the UT. How does Eric July fit the stereotype of a UT? He doesn't. You see, to these people, a UT is any black person who is not on the left like them. That's it. They basically believe that black people belong on their side, and that any black person who disagrees with them politically hates their own race. That's what makes these guys the racists they are. They hate black people who have a mind of their own and don't fall in line. Eric July himself responded to this guy, so let's hear what he had to say.
And he says, I do not regret my reaction. When you work for the Blaze and argue, this is the part. He says, argue against your community's best interests. That is rather Uncle Tomish.
Okay, this guy thinks that simply working for the Blaze makes a black man a UT. Amazing. So if any black man who might be apolitical, who's just trying to earn a living and happens to work for the Blaze, is a UT to this guy. But the most important part of what that guy just said is that he claims that Eric July argues against what's best for the black community, and that's what makes him a UT. It's that a racist statement is that this is a white man telling a black man what's best for the black community. He doesn't think a black man knows what's best for the black community. He, Charles, a white man, knows what's best for the black community better than a black man. Only a white savior like him can know what's best for the black community. Amazing. Let's continue.
Talk about the term right there that he used. Now, this is a literal racist term.
Exactly. UT is a literal racist term. You can't use an Iron Man 3 clip to hide behind like actual Fandom did. The term UT is well known as being racist, but this guy feels comfortable in saying it because, one, he's actually racist, and two, he has his leftist shield.
Now, I want to be clear, and these weirdos think that this is some sort of gotcha when it's not. The reason why people are bringing this up is because you're a hypocrite. And the types that generally use these terms that claim to go to bat for, let's say, black people, or go to bat for the POCs, or whatever term that you want to use, we're pointing out how you and yourself are racist and you're using racist terminology. I'm not going to get bit out of shape at it at all. We're just pointing out how you don't actually universalize any of the positions that is that you have. The term Uncle Tom. Now, yeah, we know the etymology, they get it wrong considering Uncle Tom's Cabin, and he's basically a hero in that story.
That's a good point. The real life UT is actually a man named Josiah Henson, and he's actually a hero to the black community. And I bet this guy Charles, who called Eric July a UT, doesn't even know this. So not only is this guy a racist, but he is ignorant as well.
But they use it to define basically a lesser than black person, or someone that's, let's say, against their own race. That's generally what it is that you're using. And you reserve that term, of course, only for black people. And racism, by textbook definition, that he is in a position to determine what my community says, because I apparently do things that are against my community's interests. He thinks he can dictate that as a white man.
That's basically exactly what I said earlier. That's what makes these guys racists. They think they know what's best for black people more than black people themselves. The leftists like this act this way out of fear. More right-wing candidates like Trump are getting more and more minority votes, and left-wing people are scared to death of this because if they lose minority votes, they will never win an election ever again. That's why you get people like Biden basically saying that if black people don't vote for him, they aren't black. Now, white people on the right like myself can suggest that it would be in black people's best interest to vote for candidates who are MAGA or America First, but I'm not going to tell them that if they don't vote for MAGA or America First candidate, that they are going against their best interests. And I'm certainly not going to call them a racial slur like UT for not voting MAGA or America First. You see the difference? Also, when I suggest people vote MAGA and America First, I suggest that to all races, not just black people or white people. Voting MAGA and America First is in the best interests of all races that are American, not just black or white. Let's continue.
The whole acting as if they are against racism, against bigotry, it's all nonsense. The minute that they see someone that, let's say, exist in that class or exist in that racial makeup or sex or gender, whatever you want to call it, anybody that fits that bill and disagrees with them vehemently on any given issue that they hold tight, you see how ugly it is that they become, because they have them in a box. Black people are supposed to act like this, and because I don't know, have a position on Miles Morales that you don't like, all of a sudden I'm doing things that are against my community's interests.
Is exactly right. The left see black people, women, gays, or any minority as monoliths. They think that they all should act, think, and especially vote a certain way. And as you can see, if they don't, they will call them racial slurs. The left are and always were the true racists. That's about it for this video. I'm Alpha Eagle. God bless you for watching. God bless America. And I pray that Charles and the rest of the Fandom Initiative stop it with their racist ways.